Hello, sweet friends. It's Tracy. Welcome to today's video. I am sharing another wreath idea as well as how I created the sign. So I hope that you enjoyed today's video. If you're returning, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Tracy and I love to share crafty ideas with a bit of rustic country charm, just like today's project. Guys, I hope that if you're not already, if you would consider subscribing to my channel, because I would love to have you join my little family. All right, guys, let me share how I created the wreath as well as the cute little welcome to our class sign. Okay, I started with a 14-inch wire frame and I get mine from the Dollar Tree. These are the 10-inch Deco mesh that I'm using. The blue came from Craft Outlet, the red and white, the burlap, and the yellow all came from Hobby Lobby. That 6-inch yellow is the only size that I had in my collection, so I'm going to share how I cut it so that I can make it work for this wreath. This red with the white wide stripe came from Craft Outlet as well. I pulled that out after I had, kind of put all my stuff together. And okay, guys, so I started with my burlap base. I use a 21-inch Deco mesh. It's my favorite way to start my mesh bases. I will leave a link to a video that I have that breaks it down all the way, for you. I'm also using some of this 10-inch snowball burlap mesh that I also get from Hobby Lobby, and what I'm doing is I am just folding over each edge, and I flip it over 2 times. I secure it with a clip that I just get from the Dollar Tree, and then I just clamp it there. I kind of like make a cruffle or a ruffle, whatever, different wreath makers call it different things. Anyway, so then what I'm showing you here, I have this burlap, and then I make the snowball mesh, and then I do the blue. I do like an X pattern, and then I just secure it with some clips as well. All right, so for the 6-inch yellow, what I'm doing is I'm cutting these at 20 inches, but in a minute I will go back and I'm going to cut them cut them in half because they were just a little too long and I couldn't work with them that way. Anyway, so then now my next bundle is the burlap with the red and white and the yellow, and so I'm just doing the same thing. So then here now you'll see me, I'm just cutting these in half, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll them up kind of like in a cone, I guess. I'm just kind of gathering the one side a little bit closer than the other, and then I'm just going to butt those two ends up together so that because I didn't have any 10-inch yellow mesh, so I had to get creative. Anyway, so then this is the next bundle that I'm putting together. I do it like in an X pattern, and then I get those blue and white clips from the Dollar Tree in the laundry section. Those are my favorite to help me with my little wreath making, just little tools like this. Anyway, so then I have these bundles that I'm putting like in a tic-tac-toe pattern, and I have 12 of these ties, and so I have 6 of the burlap with the blue bundles, and then I have 6 of the red and white and the burlap with the yellow bundles. And so then I'll just continue to put those on into a tic-tac-toe pattern until I get them all the way in the wreath the way that I like it. Then when I'm finished with that, where the little holes are, I'm going to kind of show you that in a minute. Then I'll go back and put just one of the 12-inch of the red and white stripes. So if I didn't already mention in this video, I cut all of my mesh at 12 inches. For my ribbon, these are the ribbons that I pulled out. I decided not to use the yellow with the large white polka dots. They either came from Craft Outlet or Hobby Lobby. Okay, to help myself when I cut my ribbon, I'm using my Perfect Tails ribbon boards that I just, twist the ribbon around and then I cut it out. And so then I cut 3 of the 13-inch, and then of the 12-inch, I cut 3 of the 1.5-inch. And then these are the ribbon bundles that I'm going to put together into this wreath. I'm just showing you here. I just kind of put my bundles together to help me when I'm ready to put them into my Deco mesh. And so what I decided to do is the 2.5 of the blue with the red 1.5 gingham is going in one bundle, and I try to in my mind, I just tried to put certain ribbons in certain bundles to keep it even and to help myself. And so then what I do is I just gather it in the middle, and then I just kind of, I guess make a V. I don't know. I don't know if it has a term. I'm sorry. I know some people are probably laughing, but I don't know. I just kind of like that look. Anyway, so I just fluff as I go, and then I just trim off the pipe cleaner, and then I'll bend it over, and then I'll just take my hot glue and I'll give it just a little bitty dot of hot glue just to kind of seal it. And then when I get to the red and the white mesh, that is where the yellow with the blue burlap is going in, and the yellow chevron polka dotted burlap with the blue gingham, that I'm going to be putting some raffia in that bundle. For my middle sign, I'm using one of these 10-inch wood pile disc that I get from Hobby Lobby. I'm also showing something that I pulled out that I could have used from the Dollar Tree. These are the scrapbook papers that I'm using. They came from 2 different paper pads or scrapbook pads from Hobby Lobby. Now that school days one, I've had that in my collection for a few years. Anyway, so then I just, trace it out, cut it out, and I'm cutting out 2 of these because I want part of my sign to be the red and white check as well, and then the other, like the middle part, I want it to be the school days looking paper. And so I just, just to finish it off, I just have some just red paint, and I'm just painting around the edges, probably about like 1 inch. And before, I don't know, it just makes me feel better. It makes the sign feel a little bit more finished. And so for my paper, I make sure, that I have it lined up correctly. Since I have a printed one, I want the gingham or the check on the top, and then I want the school days, in the middle. So I wanted to make sure that I got those correct. So I'm just using my adhesive tape glider. I know a lot of people like to Mod Podge or do other kind of things to adhere their paper to their signs, but this works really good for me. I make sure everything's sealed, and everything looks really good. And so I just put the red and white check at the top, and then make sure that it's finished off there. So then I'm just using my black Sharpie marker. I had some rickrack, and I'm gonna, just to kind of cover up like the space where the papers meet. Rickrack works great. Oh yes, I love to use rickrack on my projects. And I'm just using my Fabri-Tac glue just to glue that down, and I cut my rickrack a little bit longer so that I can go back and trim it off very nicely. This small chalkboard I'm going to use for the middle of my sign is something that I picked up from the Dollar Tree. I am just taking off the wooden easel part because I don't need that. I just want the small chalkboard. And then I just have the chalk. I'm going to just roughen it up a bit just to kind of take off the shininess of the chalkboard. And I just take the chalk and just run it across. And then I just take a wet wipe and just kind of wipe it off, and a regular paper towel just to dry it off. The paint pen that I'm going to use for my lettering is a Posca PC5. Let's see. Yes, PC5M. And it's a paint pen, so you have to shake it up. And anyway, so I'm just writing welcome to our class. And I am very sorry because I did not realize that my big head was in the way. I am so sorry. I will try to be careful about that for future videos. My apologies. Anyway, so then I am just, putting my happy dots on my letters. And I do get questions about, it actually is some God-given talent. The Lord has, given me these gifts, and I'm just loving to being able to share them with so many different friends. I've had a lot of people reach out to me about, giving or doing some kind of lettering, but my lettering is kind of like specific to whatever word I am writing. It's not perfect. And so I have found a free font that is the closest that I can find to this. It is called Deco. You may have heard me mention it before. I will have a link to it in the description below if you would like to check it out. You can, print it out on your computer, and then you can, have your lettering that you can trace onto your project or your sign. So then now I am doing my favorite splattering of just some white paint using my stencil brush and a toothpick. And then now I'm just going to make a messy bow just for the top of my sign. I don't want anything over the top because I don't want it to take away from the sign. And so I just have some 1-inch ribbon. I just have different trims, some pom-pom ribbon, some little probably the majority of them came from Hobby Lobby or either Walmart. And so then I'm just having a little difficulty getting this pipe cleaner around in the middle the way that I like. And it's probably because I don't need to be using this tan pipe cleaner. I needed to use a white pipe cleaner, silly girl. And so what I have one of these, just kind of curly white pipe cleaners that I got from Hobby Lobby, and I just used that to make a curly Q. Anyway, those apples are something that I had in my collection that I painted many years ago, and so I decided, you know what, now's the perfect time to use it on this wreath. And so I'm also using, just for dimension, I'm just using some Jenga blocks that I painted black, and that little chalkboard that I got from the Dollar Tree already has some dimension on the back, or some thickness to it, and so I'm just using my Fabri-Tac permanent glue as well as some hot glue, just to the Fabri-Tac is the permanent hold and the hot glue is just the instant hold. And so I'm just making sure everything is, glued down the way that I want it. And then I'm also going to glue down my bow. So next I'm going to share how I attach my sign. I'm using my paper piercer, and this wood, these little wood circles are very easy. They're very thin wood. And so I just use my paper piercer to poke a hole. And so the wire that I'm using is this red wire that I get from the Dollar Tree. And so I just attach my sign to the wire frame with this red wire. And I just used my needle nose pliers just to make some curly cues so that everything is nice and secure and it looks cute with the red wire and the curly cues. All right, guys, this is how I cover the back of my Deco Mesh wreaths. This is one of my most asked questions, and so I'm showing you here in this video. What I was showing you there was the wire that I used for the hanger. But these woven placemats I get from Hobby Lobby in the fall section. And so what I do is I just take one and I just put it on the back with some pipe cleaners, and it just kind of finishes everything off. Everything looks nice and done. And so these are my favorite placemats to use for my Deco Mesh wreaths. All right, guys, I hope that you've enjoyed this back to school wreath project. I do have tons more crafty videos on my channel if you will check out the playlist. All right, guys, we will talk to you all very soon. All right, talk to you later. God bless.